Hi, we are going to be doing our e-learning. We're going to be talking about our characteristics of organisms through a lab today. Before we get started on it, we're going to watch this video that we should be watching. Pardon me. For slide 2. It says go to this link and watch this video. I'll also have it posted into Canvas for in case you can't click on it.
Asexual reproduction. When an organism reproduces, it makes another of the same species. Some organisms reproduce sexually. Cows make more cows, and pigs make more pigs. Sexual reproduction provides genes from a mother and a father, making a genetically unique organism. Other organisms reproduce asexually. In asexual reproduction, all of the genes come from a single parent. Asexually produced offspring are genetically identical to the parent. There are many methods of asexual reproduction. In some one-cell organisms, cell division is a method of asexual reproduction. Bacteria cells reproduce through cell division. The cell makes a copy of its DNA, then sends it to the new bacteria cell. Some bacteria can reproduce as fast as every 20 minutes. Another method of asexual reproduction is budding. Unicellular yeast cells grow new cells on the side of the dead. When the cell is developed, it falls up and a new yeast cell is produced. Some organisms produce offspring by splitting into pieces. A sea anemone can split down the middle, resulting in the production of another individual. Sexual and asexual reproduction produce offspring. However, asexual reproduction makes genetically identical offspring. Sexual reproduction makes genetically unique offspring. So try taking a cutting of a plant. You will be making another that has the same DNA as the parent. You just help the plant to reproduce asexually. Asexual reproduction.
Okay, so now that we've listened to that, we're going to answer the following questions. How many parents are involved in sexual reproduction? How many parents are involved in asexual reproduction? What are the percentage of the DNA that's passed in offspring during asexual reproduction? We will also list 3 methods of asexual reproduction. On slide 3, it says autotrophs and heterotrophs. Part 1. Living things are divided into 2 groups according to how they get their energy, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are living things that make their own food from light using photosynthesis. Autotrophs are also known as producers. Photosynthesis is the process where energy from the sun, water, and carbon dioxide react to create food that living things can use. Plants and some bacteria are examples of living things that use photosynthesis. The food they make is stored as chemical energy and is used to do work and to build their bodies. Producers start food chains which feed all life. Heterotrophs are living things that are unable to make their own food. To get energy, heterotrophs must eat other living things for energy. Heterotrophs are also known as consumers. Animals, fungi, and many protists and bacteria are examples of consumers. An energy pyramid is a diagram that shows the amount of energy of each feeding level within an ecosystem. Heterotrophs depend on autotrophs for food. So autotrophs would be at the bottom of the energy pyramid. Read part 1. Jot down notes and drawings that will help you remember the meanings of these words. You can sketch or scribble the button on the toolbar. Autotrophs. Tell me what autotrophs are. Tell me what producers are. And tell me what photosynthesis are. Part 2. If autotrophs disappeared, heterotrophs would soon disappear too. Heterotrophs need autotrophs for energy. While over 99% of the energy for life on Earth is from photosynthesis, there's a small group of autotrophs that use chemical energy to produce food, which is called chemosynthesis. Chemosynthesis is a way to produce energy without sunlight. Many bacteria in deep oceans produce energy using chemosynthesis. Autotrophs and heterotrophs are very important to the movement of energy in the ecosystem. Right here, you're going to tell me what a heterotroph is, a consumer is, and what chemosynthesis is. Read it. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. Questions. Which is true about autotrophs? A, B, C, or D? Autotrophs automatically catch their food. Autotrophs include all organisms in animal kingdom. Autotrophs hunt for food. Autotrophs make their own food through photosynthesis. Whichever one's right, you can take and highlight or underline or make it bold, however you can make it. 2. What are autotrophs on the energy pyramid? They aren't on the energy pyramid, in the middle, at the bottom, or at the top. 3. How are heterotrophs dependent on autotrophs? Heterotrophs need autotrophs for reproduction. There are many more heterotrophs than autotrophs. They ride them to work. They need to feed off them for survival. On our next question, explore it part 1. Why would it be important to classify organisms? All living organisms can be classified by their characteristics. We're going to look at the 4 main characteristics. First, we will look at the cell type. Prokaryotes are primitive cells that are with no defined nucleus. Eukaryotes are advanced cells with a nucleus that stores DNA. Next, we will look at cell quantity. Some organisms have only one cell and are called unicellular organisms. An example would be an amoeba. Animals and plants are multicellular and have many cells. Explore it part 2. Now we will look at the organisms, how the organisms get their energy. Food. Autotrophs make their own food through the process called photosynthesis. Examples would be plants and grasses. Heterotrophs would have to acquire their food from other sources. Examples would be most animals and fungi. Lastly, we will look at reproduction. Many organisms require 2 parents to produce a diverse offspring. This is called sexual reproduction. Some organisms can produce offspring with only one parent. 100% of the DNA is passed to the child. This is called asexual reproduction. It is an example of this would be bacteria. Right here, you're going to take and you're going to match. You're going to match the vocabulary word to the definition. Unicellular means that it is made out of one cell. It's a single cell organism. So you would take and drag and click it over here. And you would continue to match all the way down. Right here, you're going to determine, you're going to match the appropriate label to each of the images. So you're going to drag and click it over to the right one. Okay, would it be bacteria, monkey, or grass? Same thing here. You're going to drag and click it to the right kingdom. Right here it says illustrate it. What you need to do here is you need to take and draw 3 living organisms and label them as as what they should be in each kingdom. Would it be prokaryotic, eukaryotic, unicellular, multicellular, autotroph or heterotroph, or asexual or sexual reproduction? The way that you can do this is draw the picture, take a picture of it, and then insert it into the Power Slide by uploading an image into it and putting it there. Now what you're going to do with this one is you're going to take a picture and upload it, and you're going to put it right here, and it goes into detail on how to do that. Okay? So we're going to go into our Assess It Part 1. What are the correct characteristics of bacteria? Is it multicellular, prokaryotic, autotroph, and asexual? Is it multicellular, eukaryotic, heterotrophic, and sexual? Is it unicellular, prokaryotic, heterotrophic, and asexual? Number 2 is what is true about asexual reproduction? It takes 2 parents are present, 50% of the DNA comes from each parent, or 100% of the DNA comes from one parent. Number 3, an animal from the animal kingdom likely has which of the following characteristics? Multicellular, prokaryotic, autotroph, or asexual. B, multicellular, eukaryotic, heterotrophic, sexual. C, unicellular, eukaryotic, autotrophic, asexual. We have fill in the blank here. You're going to choose the words and fill in the words where they go by reading the story. And that is it.